Welcome to Music and Mind, the interview series where I, Adam Ficek, speak with leading musicians about the intersection of music and mental health. Today, I'm joined by the fantastic Rowetta. Hi Rowetta, what are you up to musically at the moment?
Well, I've got a single coming out with Junior Sanchez, who's a bit of a legend, really. So that's coming out on August the 4th. So I'm excited about that. But I've got loads coming out because everybody waits for summer. And so some people have waited since the lockdown. So I've done lots and lots of writing and recording at home mainly. And no, it's really exciting. But the next thing is Junior Sanchez. And of course, I've got a load of gigs with Happy Mondays coming up. And Shed 7, I've done a tune with Shed 7. So there's loads. That's a really big answer, I know, but I've done a lot recently.
You've been busy. What's your favourite part of all of those different things?
Do you know, I love it all and I really do. But obviously standing on a stage and singing to an audience is incredible. That's what made me fall in love with singing after being told to shut up all the time when I was a kid. Every time I opened my mouth to sing, they like me talking. But yeah, no, I didn't know I could sing when I was a kid and I didn't get in the choir or anything like that. So, and they used to say mime if I was in the nativity choir because I just didn't sound like everybody else, which should be a benefit and fantastic, but they didn't used to always love somebody being different. They wanted everybody to sound the same. And I think Shirley Bassey had the same trouble. She didn't get in the choir. So it's just, you know, I encourage people now going to schools and help kids that don't sound like everyone else, because I think it's important to look different, be yourself, be individual, sound different, and embrace that, not just hide away and don't sing anymore because you sound different. That's shocking. But yeah, so I didn't sing till late because of that. But it's the thing that I fell in love with was standing on the stage, and it's the best buzz you can get.
Yeah, what is it about that standing on stage for you? What's the essence of that?
Well, you don't know unless you, I mean, I never knew. I'd got on stage and it's just this atmosphere and people getting goosebumps and then standing up and cheering at the end when you don't know you've got anything. You don't know what you've done, but you've connected with the audience. And some people just sing and, you know, and people clap and they might dance, but they're not really feeling it. Nobody's feeling it. But I've always had this thing where I mean every lyric most of the time about this. I've only done a couple of dodgy songs. So I really do mean every lyric and I write a lot. So I'm just singing what, you know, from the heart, and it does connect with people. I've got one of those voices. It's not always perfect, but it certainly really connects with a lot of people. And you know, it's a blessing and for me. And yeah, so I think I'm very, very lucky in that respect. But that's what made me fall in love with it. You can't beat that feeling, you know. And I've got drunk, you know, been high off people, so I don't smoke weed or anything. But I'm not admitting to anything today. But yeah, no, it's just the best high in the world, the biggest high in the world. There's nothing like it. It's infectious as well and addictive more than any other. I'm not an addictive person really, but that I got addicted to that. And during lockdown, it killed me. You know, I really was. I'm not a depressed sort of person, but the thing that I missed the most was the singing, performing live on stage, because I did loads of singing. I've got a studio at home, so I can do that all the time. I do that most mornings. I love recording and writing at home. But there's nothing like performing a song on stage and having that audience feedback. It's woo. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I get that also. What part of that is best for you? What part do you enjoy the most? So is it being with the band or when you're maybe doing live PA stuff with DJs? What's the best element for you?
I honestly love it all. It depends on the audience. It really always does. You know, it can be, I don't really get nervous, get more excited. But then if I was singing when my grandma was alive, if I was singing her at her birthday party, for instance, very close up in a little room, that would probably be worse for me than Wembley Stadium or Glastonbury, where I don't really get nervous at all when I've done those places. It's just, I love it. Just get a big buzz and can't wait to get on stage. Very excited because I'm very confident in what I do. But the smaller the audience, when it's important for somebody's anniversary or for somebody's wedding, I'm probably going to get more nervous because it's very intimate and very important. You get it really right. And it's usually something that I don't do all the time. So yeah, but I love it all. Sometimes some of the PAs I do, they're at 3 a.m. in Ibiza. I wish it was a little bit earlier because I'd rather party at that time or go to bed because I'm getting a bit older now. But I've always been like that, even when I was younger. I didn't really like going out at 2 a.m. Even though I do love Ibiza, I'd rather go out at about 8 o'clock for dinner, not like 11 o'clock and then go to a club and sing as well. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, really, I'm ready for bed. But I end up being dragged out to sing and then dragged to another party. And then I'm the last one there usually the next day.
Do you think it's harder for vocalists because of what you're saying? You know, your instrument is your voice.
It can be, definitely. But I did myself a favour about think it's 16 years ago and stopped smoking cigarettes because I never smoked weed, but I did smoke a lot of cigarettes. And I just thought, I'm addicted to these and I'm not being addicted to anything. So I gave them up as a gift to my voice when I was probably about 40, because I thought I can't keep going in these smoky rooms. And thank God they stopped smoking everywhere, because now I don't smoke. It really gets on my chest. So yeah, so that's the hardest bit. But the other thing that's difficult for vocalists, I find for myself, is not being able to sleep and having a tired voice. And it's really important to me to make sure I try and get some sleep, because I like staying up and talking all night, and that's when my voice will suffer. And so I don't warm up or anything like that you're supposed to do. I'm not like one of those singers. I'm usually too embarrassed when I'm with the band as well to be doing all vocal runs. I just usually quietly hum in the corner and have a drink of whiskey and I'm right to go. And because whiskey warms up just one, but like a little bit of whiskey on my throat and humming does it for me, and then I'm good to go. But people who say they can't sing in the morning, I sing most mornings. It's when you've not had enough sleep sometimes that your voice is tired, but that can be any time of day for me. So yeah, no, I don't really look after it as well as I should, but I gave up smoking. I think that's as far as I'm going.
Yeah, and you said there about singing like outside of performing or being in bands. Is that something you do for yourself as well, like your personal side of what you do with music?
Every morning I sing, really. And I've always said if you love it the way I do, I just love it. As I said, in lockdown, when there were no gigs, I didn't really need to write anymore. I'd been sent tunes by pretty big stars and producers because nobody was working, nobody was away. So people like Todd Terry, Oliver Heldens, they'd be sending me tunes, but I didn't need to do them. There was no deadline at all during lockdown. But even if I wasn't doing a tune, I do always, this morning I've had to sing and tried to write this house tune this morning because I just love it. I have a microphone by my bed and I don't tell anyone, but I have a lot of tunes that I've recorded. I've done in bed with the dog snoring on them. I get away with it because they like that first take. There's something about it. But really, I've got the fan on, my dog's snoring in the background. But, if you've got the right microphone, they can't tell and you've got a good voice. But yeah, I just every day, but I'm not one of them that sings in the shower or sings in the bath. And in the car, I like talk radio a lot in the car. Unless I'm working, because when I put music on, it's like work a lot of the time to me. I'm getting ideas, or I'm singing along, or I'm thinking of lyrics. So for me, I do like more discussion programs and talk programs on the radio. I don't have music on like 24 hours a day, and I'm not singing 24 hours a day like the mad people. I shouldn't say that on here, but I mean the people who they're just singing all day long, and it's really annoying. I mean, at the moment, especially filming themselves on for Instagram, filming themselves singing. That's what I mean by mad people. I mean, if you can't get a gig, you don't see me singing 24 hours a day on Instagram. It's boring. It's rubbish. I mean, it might be great if you do the odd one, but not all the time. To me, it's like taking a picture of yourself in the mirror in your bathroom. Have you got no friends? Nobody? Just don't bother, You don't need to be seen all the time or heard. Save something. If you've got something special and you sung at an event, definitely put it on. Or you've written a song, it's nice on YouTube maybe, but some people, they're obsessed with singing all day long and they're not even that good most of the time.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit too much exposure, isn't it? I think I hear what you're saying.
Well, it's just. I mean, if you enjoy it, it's fine. But I know I'm going to unfollow you as soon as I can, and I expect everybody to do that with me on these Instagram, because a lot of people have found that they've got a voice now, which is fantastic. There's loads of singers about with all these talent competitions and a need for fame. So a lot of people are finding a voice and wanting to be like a star, and I get that. But there's some people who just really touch you, and they're just incredible. And that talent, and it's usually raw talent, it's different. People who are original, people who don't copy. I love that and I look for that. And the people who love singing, and would do it whether they got money or not. And that's me, I just would always sing. It's the thing I do really well. It's the thing I love. I would give everything up apart from my children for it, but they're big anyway. Don't need me. So yeah, I love singing.
Do you think for you it's also an emotional support? Do you find if you're in a certain mood or a frame of mind, singing is really helpful, you use it?
I don't know if I do so much, and like people, I don't really write too much about personal things either. I write them down, but I don't sing songs too much that are too personal because I've had quite a bad part. There's been a bad part of my life that I don't really touch within songs. But probably through any songs that I'm singing, you're going to hear the pain or the joy in the way I sing, but I don't go into it too much through music. When people say it makes them happy and all this, Singing obviously makes me happy, but more on a stage. And I love creating a great melody or writing a good lyric is fantastic. But, you know, obviously I love people. I like being with people. I think that's what makes me happy. And I also like being alone with my music, but with my dogs, you know, I'm very happy on my own, but I like being with the right people as well. I can't stand being with the wrong people, but I love being with, you know, when you know you're a certain age, you know who your friends are, you know who makes you feel happy and good about yourself, you know who appreciates you and appreciates what you do for them, and you know who doesn't, and that's been beneficial to me. So more than music, I think it's more people, I think. But having said that, because I don't really go to clubs always for the music. You know, when I go out, I go more for the people. So regardless, I mean, unless it's really terrible. And then, I mean, some nights they play me, some of the DJs, but it's techno, hardcore techno all night. And even if they're playing me, I have to come out because, you know, there's only so much techno you can take. So yeah, but I love music, but it's not like my life, even though it is. Singing is everything to me. But yeah, I'm not like as passionate as some people, I think.
Yeah. Do you think it's got easier as you've got older to try and navigate the music industry as such and to work out what you're saying, what's important for you?
Well, I'm doing better now because I manage myself. I understand. I'm good on the internet and stuff like that. And I'm good at replying to people and not holding a phone everywhere. And everyone sees you've got a phone, but you never answer the phone. I can't stand people who do that. I'm good at working. I'm a bit of a workaholic. So because of that, I think I just make sure everything's done. And yeah, I've adapted to this, the way the world is now musically, the industry. I've adapted very well. I think it suits me, the online stuff and all that lot, and streaming. And yeah, and the way you don't have to have one record deal. I get deals all the time with labels that I've always wanted to work with, but it's single deals all the time. And I've got into this house music, and I'm very lucky because I've got like a day job is Happy Mondays really at the moment, but and doing that sort of thing and gigs like those. But working on my own career, by myself and my house music and writing with producers, that I'm really on top of and loving. And, you know, and for new artists as well, I'll try and listen to them all the time. Where some people, they're really shocked that I'm going to do a tune with them, but I go into schools, and if I spot a kid, I've judged a talent competition and then brought him, he's called Babalola, brought him to sing with me with the BBC Philharmonic. Because that is the sort of stuff I think you should do, because when I was a kid, nobody discovered me. Still waiting to be discovered, to be honest. So, but you know, though, you have to really push yourself. I'm lucky I've got an unusual name, but you have to, I hate being called a backing singer, so it's taken me years to try and stop them saying it. And if anyone calls it me, I say, you might as well say blacking singer, and then they don't call me it again.
Yeah. Do you think it's easier now for you in the modern technological music industry than it was maybe 20, 30 years ago?
It shouldn't be, because I think it was all about youth back then, you know, and it still is to an extent, you know, and I was past it before I started, really, because I was in a really bad marriage from 16 to 21 when I was probably at my prime, singing and looking wise, you know, and before I had my kids and everything. And I was 18 with 2 children and married, and I went into a women's aid refuge at 21. So really I'd passed my age wise, you know, when you get to 25, you really passed it in the music industry. So I managed to do something, and also I was a bit sort of in hiding. So I joined Happy Mondays instead of sorting out my own career, because when I was 14, 15, I had loads of potential, won talent competitions, and it looked like the future was bright for me, but then it all stopped. So I think I've done well to continue in the industry that I do, because I couldn't get a job, because I would have given it up for singing. I would have got a gig and then not turned up for work, and also had 2 young children, and there was only my mum really helped me with the children. So yeah, I've done really well, I think, to get through all that. But obviously it would be much easier for me now for 17, I think, because I've got the talent and confidence. And yeah, and when I was 15, I was so confident and talented, and then it all stopped. So I think I'm doing well to, you know, even be mentioned within, you know, I mean, I'm on Radio 1, sometimes on the radio shows. You know, I was going to do a tune with Terry Hall. I know he's the patron of Tonic, and was chatting to him a lot. So to even get a reply from Terry Hall is amazing, and people like that. But I do, you know, and they're in our dressing room. He was with Paul Ryder quite a lot, and they were really great friends. So Yeah, so I'm saying the fact that they even know me, people like that, is incredible because I'm such a big fan of the specials when I was little. But and lots of people like Nile Rodgers and stuff, they message me, and you just think, wow, they even know me is amazing. And the fact that they know my voice and they know me and they actually like me and like my voice is incredible. You know, and you have to pinch yourself sometimes. And to me, I don't care about being famous. I'd rather not, to be honest. I love getting people like that saying they've worked with you is incredible. It's the best buzz in the world, even if it never came out. You know, I've got letters or messages, whatever you call it, not emails, they are messages, from Terry Hall and Nile Rodgers saying they work with me, and then you go, that's it for me. You know how much that boosts your confidence up. For someone who was told, you know, be quiet by your mum when you're young, and then you've got these mega stars, you know, like meeting David Bowie backstage at Glastonbury. And he said it was really eclectic when we came off. And you just, these people, you know, you don't even think you'll ever meet them. But when you meet them, if they say anything positive, it's just everything. It really is. It's everything to me. It's, I can't even tell you. It's just like going on the stage and getting that applause. It's the best confidence boost. So I don't need people to pat me on the back every day. And they don't. They believe me, they don't. And I know I'm not going to get any awards or anything. As best this, even though sometimes I can be the best girl singer probably, but I'm probably not going to get an award for it. But I don't care about that. My awards is, you know, being respected within this industry by people I've really, really, my heroes, you know, really grown up with. So that's been amazing.
Yeah. Do you think it's gotten easier being a woman in the music industry?
I don't know. I've had other problems that are worse than being a woman in the industry. You know, I'm a young mother. I was a battered wife, so they're worse for me than being a woman in the music industry, just living and surviving. So I've never used my colour or my sex or gender as an excuse for anything. I think I've done well. I think I've done well because people know my name now. It might have taken years. I wasn't as ambitious as a lot of people are, though. So if I'd have had that ambition, I might have had to rely on more people to get where I'd have wanted to be. But I've never really wanted to be anywhere, but I just wanted to be alive, free, good mother, you know, and be able to sing. And that's what I do. And I've never had these ambitions of being mega rich or mega successful. As far my success is a different kind of success to other people's. So I'm successful, but I was successful the minute I walked out from my husband. You know, I managed to start a new life. So I've and going on my first Top of the Pops, things like that. I don't have like this bucket list really. And it's because I mean I would have loved to have sung with Marvin Gaye, George Michael, Terry Hall. It's not happened, but they would have been my bucket list. David Bowie. There's not many people left on my bucket list because they've passed. So I'm just going to be happy with what I've got and just, you know, and say this is success. And it, you know, to some people we're mega famous. We're legends. Everyone says we're legends now because we're old. The older you get, the more legendary you become now. But for me, you know, it's very nice and everything, but it's just great that we're still going. Mondays are still going. I'm still going, and just working all the time. It's fantastic. And I don't look too far ahead, and I don't say, oh, it's difficult because I'm an older woman now. It's got to be even worse. I'm black, old woman. I tick every box that you know. But I think now they put you on everything because you're black, old, and a woman. Now they always asking me to go on Good Morning Britain, and I'm like, no, I don't care about the John Lewis advert. I'm not doing it. And yet they'll pay you to talk about it, but I don't want to unless I'm interested in the subject, because of social media. You'd have to talk about it all day and have people thinking that I'm interested in a stupid advert when I'm not. Obviously I'd like to sing on the John Lewis advert because of the money, but you know, I'm just not interested in stuff like that.
Yeah, it's almost like objectification on the other side, isn't it? What about
Yeah, it's getting a bit silly now, but I'm not going to knock it because good for us, you know. But I do say no to most things that I'm asked to do. If it's reality television, nothing to do with music, and I'm not interested in it, and I don't get a free camper van, I'm not doing it. You know, so yeah.
Good move. What do you think has been the worst side of the music industry for you in your whole career?
Probably just being labelled a backing singer has been the worst, probably. I hate it, and I've always hated it. I'm a singer and a songwriter, and I chose to do Happy Mondays because it suited me at the time. Couldn't be in the limelight because of my life and my ex-husband. I didn't want to be in photos, didn't want to do interviews, and Happy Mondays were my favourite band, so I managed to join them. But the way people labelled me a backing singer, even though I do backing vocals on some of the tracks, you know, Todd Terry's done backing vocals for me on some of our tracks, He's not a backing singer, though. They wouldn't say that. They say Todd the God, Rowetta the backing singer. And it really annoys me because the Scissor Sisters, they don't say it. Fergie from Black Eyed Peas, they don't say it. And I'm on Boom Boom Pow by Black Eyed Peas all the way through it. So don't call me a backing singer because I'm a singer. I know they get sampled a lot. I work with all the top producers, Salado and people like that. Who are massive right now and young. And I get to work with this new audience. But I'm one of the most sampled singers in the world. And yet I'm still labelled a backing singer. So that's the worst thing for me personally, worse than being called or treated like a woman. I'm treated like a back woman backing singer. And that's what it's just putting me in this pigeonhole. I do very few sessions. And when people say, how much is it to come on our song, and like make it like Step On was with Happy Mondays, there's not enough money you could pay me for me to turn it into, unless I really love the tune. Because that's what I do it because I love the tune and I write my own bits within the tune. But to do a thing like that and then be labelled a backing singer, and it actually says on Step On guest vocals on the Stars album with Simply Red, it says additional vocals. I've always been funny, even 1989, 1990, don't put backing singer. So there you go. I've obviously it really obviously winds me up, as you can see.
Yeah.
Don't say it about Talisa from N-Dubs. I'm not being funny. I'm a better singer and I sing more. So don't call me a backing singer.
Yeah, I get that. Was there ever a time when you thought about doing something different from music? Was there highs and lows in the career? Because it spanned quite a long time.
No, I can't do anything other than music. I mean, even when I've acted, well, not even acted, people have asked me to be in the films. They always get me to play myself. So I'm either a really shit actor or they like my character because I always play myself. But in 24 Hour Party People, I've done Footballers' Wives Extra Time in a little part in Spike Island, Rowetta herself. So yeah, I either can't act or they like me, but it's just funny really. But apart from acting, and I do go into schools and I do a lot of voluntary stuff like that and charity work, going into schools, helping other kids. I love doing stuff like that. I'm going in next Monday to a place called Middleton Pop Stars that creates little pop stars to tell them if you look different, sound different, you've got a chance. Because, even though I'm not a big pop star, I am on your telly. I do not got millions of followers, but I've got quite a lot, and I have millions of streams on certain tunes and stuff. So, and people with millions, Swedish House Mafia play me each week, a tune I've done with Steve Angelo, and they've got millions and millions. So you say that to a little girl or a little boy and give them a chance. That's the most important thing. That's the only thing I think I would have done, like been a drama teacher or something like that. I wanted to be probably. But I would have had to take off time from singing, probably to train, and all that. And some kids can be a nightmare as well, to be fair. But I love helping kids or people. I've been into prisons as well, doing similar, finding something, special about certain people. I love going into Style Prison. It's amazing. Helping the women there, giving them a chance. I mean, they all want my number for when I come out so they can come and stay with me, and you have to knock that on the head. But yeah, stuff like that. That's what I think I'd be good at. And well, it's what I am good at. And that's what I do in my spare time, really. I love it.
Yeah, it sounds like your professional musician status has given you so much connection with people and also a huge opportunity to give back, which is just bigger than the music that you make as well. So
yeah, as well. And there's a lot of people who go on about it too much, what they do. And that's what they're doing it for. And a lot of what I do, I just don't, these I only talk about it if sometimes people film you doing stuff. I go into this place, an amazing place called Revitalised, which is for disabled people and for respite for their carers as well. And I'm only saying it now because I've been going there for years singing. And I've not mentioned it, but then they started filming me in there. And I used to say, no, like to film me from the back up your skirt and everything. But it's lovely that people know that there's these places for people to go that are very, very special. And I will put on the best show there. I put on a better show there than anywhere because you appreciate you're in a room full of about 20 people sometimes, the carers and the disabled, severely disabled, some of them. And it's the best gig I ever do. There's no better gig because it's just beautiful because people are dancing or trying to clap or trying to sing, but they enjoy it the most and they know that when you're genuine. And that's what I can't stand. Some of these charitable people aren't genuine and get a big paycheck. And it's a bit sick, really. So even though I've just told you about that, that's because Revitalised have posted it everywhere because they needed funding and help them with that. But otherwise, there's loads you should do. That's because I'm not a big superstar. But I tell you what, that if I was massive, I'd do a lot more. I'd make sure I did a lot more. I wish, my Uncle Michael was blind and deaf and I've offered to help them. Sense, it's called there. organisation. They always say, do you want to do the 10K? And I go, no, I don't want anything physical. 5K? No. Half marathon? No. Dog walk? No. I don't want to do anything physical. I only want to sing. I'm not helping in any other way. You know, I go into the women's aid refuges because I can talk there, but I can't, obviously, there's not a lot I can do the deaf blind language. But they never take me up on it. They always say, do you want to do a marathon? Or no, I don't.
Some definitive last words there from Rowetta. Thanks again for listening to Music and Mind with me, Adam Ficek. Make sure you check out the Tonic Music website for free groups, workshops and courses for musicians, music fans and all those in the music industries.